Hello, everyone. My guest today is Rytis Loris. He's the co-founder and CEO of a company called Omnisend, the powerful marketing automation platform that's focused on moving e-commerce marketers beyond the generic email marketing tools. He's a successful entrepreneur who has spent the last 10 years building and driving a few startups, which has brought him to the e-commerce field. Rytis, are you ready to take us to the top?
Hey, nice to be here.
You bet. All right, tell us about Omnisend. What do you guys do and how do you make money?
We are a SaaS business, so we help smart e-commerce marketers to grow their sales by sending like emails, text messages, doing Facebook and Google ads, and just marketing automation for e-commerce.
And is it pure play SaaS or transaction fee based or what?
It's pure play SaaS.
Okay.
Around 97% of our revenue comes from SaaS model.
Okay, and what's the average customer pay you per month, would you say?
It's about $60.
$60,
It's
okay.
quite low. Yeah. So we have kind of two kind of different group of customers. One is long tail, which we have quite many of them, and there are larger customers who pay much more for us.
That makes sense. How many customers are you working with today total?
So we are on freemium model. So we have more than 40,000 active accounts, which annual active accounts, still active installs. Like monthly active users, the number is lower, and we have around 3,000 paying customers.
Okay, 3,000 paying customers, and that would put you at what? 3,000 times 60. That's about 180 grand a month in revenue. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Similar.
And what does growth look like year over year? Where were you in August 2017?
So we're aiming to have 100% year-on-year growth. Last year we succeeded. This year we're a little bit behind the goal, but still the autumn is coming. The autumn is Christmas season for us, so hopefully we're gonna manage to do that.
So Rytis, a year ago doing 90 grand a month, now doing 180 grand a month. Now we give you a little bit of slack because it's harder to double large numbers, right? So you get a little bit of sympathy from me, but not too much, okay?
Thank you.
All right. That's good. And
hopefully it's going to be like more sympathy next year. And then we're going to double again.
Yeah. Now put this up. I want to come back to your freemium model because converting 3,000 to paid from 40,000 total accounts is actually a pretty healthy conversion rate. So we'll come back to that. But first, put this on a timeline for me. When did you launch?
So we launched a product 2014.
2014. And did you have bootstrapped this or raised?
We have raised just a small amount of angel investment at the very beginning. But no institutional investment, so mainly bootstrapped.
Yeah, Rytis, you know what happens, right? Everyone says, "Oh, Nathan, we're basically bootstrapped. We've raised a small amount of capital." And I say, "How much?" And I go, $180 million. And I say, "That's not small. That's not angels. How much have you actually raised total?"
It's like 160,000.
Okay,
Not millions.
You count. That's small. That's pretty good. All right. Yeah. So basically bootstrapped, and churn is obviously critical in this kind of business model. What is your churn today?
So again, we have those two group of customers. So churn in total churn is pretty high. It's around 7% monthly.
Logo or revenue?
Logo. Revenue again is around 40%, around 4%. But if we take larger customers, so the net churn is usually negative, which keeps us growing.
Yep, and that's on a monthly or annual basis.
Monthly.
Okay, on a monthly basis. So if I ask that differently, if you look at your net revenue retention each year, it sounds like you're above 100%. How far above 100% are you?
About revenue retention. So that's a good question. Could you reformulate it?
Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. I'm being selfish here because it sounds like you calculate it based off churn. I'm just flipping it. So if you have net negative churn, if I ask the question
from larger customers, negative net churn overall, it's around 4%.
Okay, sorry. So revenue churn, I want to make sure I get this right. Revenue churn per month is 4% net.
That's correct.
Okay, got
Unfortunately.
it. Yeah, I was going to say, so how do you get that lower?
Going to larger customers. So once we launched Omnisend, we had a different name. It was Soundest. At that time, in 2014, we were focusing on really small merchants, usually like sole kind of businesses, and that's the reason they are churning. They start their businesses, and usually we were relied on Shopify platform very much. So there are a lot of newcomers who try their fortune, but unfortunately they fail, and then they leave the business. That's why we close down the business and they churn from Omnisend as well. But after rebranding, it happened last fall. We have started focusing on larger customers. So all the numbers of those larger customers are much, much higher. Lifetime value is much higher, life cycle is much higher, churn rate is much higher, much lower, and net churn is negative for those larger customers. So that's a transitional period we are facing currently.
So you're in an interesting spot because, by the way, every successful SaaS company goes through this. You start off with your mom who pays you like $1 a month, and then you get some of $10 a month. Then you get some of her friends, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna charge her friends a little more because I don't, they didn't give like birth to me, right? So $20 a month. And then you get strangers, and you're like, okay, $60 a month. And eventually you realize these people churn. My mom will only support me, until next Thanksgiving dinner. And then you say, I need to go enterprise. And so my question to you is, how are you handling some of these challenges like, grandfathering? Are you increasing prices for everybody and making them churn if they don't upgrade? Are you grandfathering? What are you doing?
No, we have introduced a new plan, like improving features and then making product ready for those larger customers. It's initially, product should be ready for the larger businesses. As small businesses and mid-size and large businesses, they have different needs. So it's the first thing, make a product ready. Second thing, introduce more expensive pricing plan. So in our case, we have free model, we have standard plan, and we have pro plan, which is 2.5 times more expensive comparing to standard.
I see.
With better features, with account management, with deliverability, help with like human touch, etc., etc.
And what's your CAC? What are you paying to acquire these new customers, these higher value customers?
I would like to keep this confidential.
Okay, why?
If you don't mind. Maybe our competitors might be listening and we have some.
Well, do you feel like you've dialed in some special thing related to CAC that gives you a big advantage?
Maybe not, but just, sharing all the numbers, totally like 100% of your numbers, it's like makes you So I'm really happy to share like a lot of numbers, but not maybe.
Rytis, what's your Twitter handle?
What's my Twitter handle?
Do you use Twitter?
Yes, I do.
What's your Twitter? Do you know your Twitter handle?
No, I don't.
You don't know it? All right. Well, guys, go look up Rytis on Twitter and just beat the hell out of him for not giving me these CAC numbers, and he'll come back on and I'll give me the CAC numbers. No, Rytis, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're being great. Let me ask you a different question. What do you like to optimize your payback period for? How quick do you like to get your money back?
Yeah, so this ratio is quite good. It's like 3 months.
Oh, that's really healthy. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now I was going to say,
you get calculated. Yeah.
so you shouldn't give me that, right? So 3 month payback period. You spend and they're worth $60 a month on average. So you're willing to spend up to $180 to acquire them. That's really healthy, though. Why would you hide that?
Yeah, Nathan, but you made this like one mistake. Your question was, what's the CAC for acquiring larger customers? Mm-hmm. So, and the calculation you made is on average our customers. So we have a lot of like long tail customers, which is we acquire almost for zero as being on Shopify App Store, Ecommerce App Store, Ticktail App Store. You get like organic traction from that.
Sure,
it's almost zero, and for larger customers, it's higher.
Well, you also told me that your new price points are 2.5 times higher. So if I take $180 of CAC and multiply times 2.5, that puts it about $450 of CAC, not 180, which is maybe closer to what you're actually paying.
Yeah. So Nathan, you know my maps.
Let me ask you a different question. What does your team look like today?
It's 39 people.
39?
Yeah, 39. Yeah.
And are you leveraging an inside sales team model on those folks or no?
A little bit.
Okay. So how do you do that? These price points are fairly low to be able to pay out a commission and stuff like that.
That's a good question. Yeah, so usually we are kind of harvesting. I mean, we the customers looking for such a solution. So we are not that high that we should go outbound. Doesn't work for that. So we usually work on inbound traffic and not nurturing our leads much, but really harvesting when they are ready for the change. And our key goal is really to get into the shortlist when they are looking for usually when they are graduating Mailchimp in our case, or other generic email service providers, and they're looking for better solution for their marketing automation, for their e-commerce marketing. So our initial goal in marketing and sales is to get into shortlist, and then to show that Omnisend is the right choice for them.
Yeah. Where's the whole team based?
We have like 2 locations: it's London and Vilnius, Lithuania. R&D team, like development and product is built there.
Yep, very good. London, Lithuania. And any plans to raise capital right now?
Not now exactly. Just want to leverage some go-to-market new strategies to really understand how to play in this larger customers play field, and maybe then. I'm not saying no, but not for this year.
Yeah. If somebody came to you, by the way, are you the sole founder or are other founders?
We're two co-founders.
Two. Yeah. So two total, you and one other person?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. You're doing 180 grand a month today. That's about 2.1 million per year. If someone came in and offered you 5x that, so say 10 or 11 million bucks to sell the company today, would you sell?
I would discuss with my co-founder.
Yeah, that's the right answer. How would you think about a sale? What decision process would you use?
Have never thought. Oh, okay. Have thought. We had offers already to sell the company, but we kind of in that case the decision was really easy. That we kind of felt that we have quite like good growth rates and quite a good margin, so we don't want to sell it now, as we believe that we're able still to grow the company.
Yeah. Are you cash flow positive today?
Yes.
That's great. Yeah, that's really great. All right, Rytis, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Hard Think About Hard Things.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
James Lamkin, Soster.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
I would say Mixpanel for SaaS businesses.
And number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get each night?
I aim at 7, but usually it's around 6.
Okay, and what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, 1 kid, 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. And how old are you, Rytis?
35.
35. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Build a SaaS business sooner. I love this model, and go to the US market.
Guys, there you have it. Build a SaaS model faster. Go to the US market. He launched his company Omnisend back in 2014. They've raised very little capital, 160 grand. They have 3,000 customers that they've generated from over 40,000 kind of freemium users. They're doing now about 180 grand per month, up 100% year over year, when they were doing about 90 grand a month back in August of 2017. Each customer pays on average $60 per month. They've got 7% logo churn per month and net churn of 4% on a revenue basis per month, working on driving that down by moving upstream a bit. Price points now about 2.5 times their current average ARPU of $60. So payback period is healthy at, call it 3 months, and willing to spend, call it $400, $500 to acquire these new higher value customers, with a team of 39 people between London and Lithuania, again, making e-commerce marketers smarter once they want to graduate from Mailchimp, Aweber, and these other kind of generic email marketing platforms. Rytis, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you.